Alright guys, I'm going to do a YouTube clip today. I'm going to be putting several of these together. Bear with me, I'm not a avid YouTuber. I'm going to try and do this the best I can, but I know people need to know how to do this because I had questions about it myself, but I got confidence because I have done some things before, as you'll see in another video that I'm going to post along with this. Right here, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm working on right now. This is my rear bumper. See, this is before I tape here. You see the chrome in between the black centerpiece right here. This is the black centerpiece. There's the black cap on the top. You got your light. Here's the chrome piece in between. I got my exhaust tucked down there up underneath it, but that's not a big deal. I'm going to cover it too. The first thing you need to do is tape off or clean, whichever you prefer. I'm only doing a small, well, I say small, but I'm only doing a relatively small portion of my bumper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tape it off first, and then I'm going to clean the area that I'm going to be working with. I recommend heavy tapage. Tape everything that you would not want to be painted. As you can see, let me back out a little bit. That is, it's okay guys, once again, this is me. I got it all taped off now. It's fully taped. You want to make sure you do you want to spend time taping because you don't want anything exposed that you don't want to get painted. As you can see, I've got it all, the whole side of my truck taped off. I don't want any accidents. I still have pipes exposed. I got a piece of cardboard I'm going to stick in between that and my bumper while I'm spraying each individual side. Right here, I do have these lights exposed. I want them exposed because I want them to blend in with my bumper. So I'm going to spray those the same color as well as the black cap here. Still got to clean off the area, and I got to tape up this one light now that I've seen that I missed it. Always double check over your work and make sure that you have it all done the way that you want it done. As you can see, I used a lot of blue painter's tape. I'm going to paint it with the Plasti dip, as I said before. I explained that in the preceding. You want to cover, tape off good. Make sure you have plenty of materials. You don't want to start on this. And the can requires they want it to be between 50 to 90 degrees, I believe it is outside. For your best quality spray, I would recommend doing it like the can says. They also want the humidity to be relatively low. That's also a good thing to go by. You don't want your paint not to stick. You do not have to, with the Plasti dip, you do not have to rough up the surface that it's going on. It's actually going to coat over it. That's where the layers of coats come in. You'll want to coat. Start off with a real nice, don't overly thick it, but a pretty nice thick base layer to go down. And then after that, you'll want to start making lighter layers, and you'll want to do about probably 4 layers of paint on this to make it where it's going to be good. And it's not going to chip or anything like that. This stuff is weatherproof. I have it on my front grill of my truck right now. I did that at an earlier point in time, and I love it. That's why I'm going back and doing the bumpers with it. It's a lot different from actually painting it because you do not have to rough up the bumper and it will lay over the chrome. That's why I'm going with the Plasti dip. I don't want to spend the money, the extra money that's unnecessary to black out a vehicle. If this stuff sticks and works, why not use it? You know, this can here is $5.98 at Home Depot. A new rear bumper would cost you $400. Painting it would cost you probably $400, unless you use spray paint or something like that, and you're not going to get the quality that you want. This here lays down a good, nice layer. It's real nice. I'll give you updates in between each layer that I put on, a little clip of it, and let you see how it's going on. You want to clean it and prep it first. I recommend just maybe use like some Windex or something to begin with, and then some rubbing alcohol, because it'll stick good after the alcohol has cleaned it. But I'm going to give you some updates. Stay with me. Alright guys, I'm just waiting on the first coat to dry, which I don't know if you can see, but if you can, it's black now. This is one coat. Hey guys, I'm back. This is the second coat on here. We're getting good coverage with it. It's doing real well. It's taking real well. I don't know how many more coats I'm going to put on here because this bumper's taking it so well. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit around here for another minute and see how well that this coverage is going to do, see if there's any blemishes in it that I need to, kind of. And that's the good thing about this stuff is if you have any places where you didn't do so hot at, you can kind of go back instead of doing a whole coat. You can just coat those pieces where it's kind of where you didn't do so well at, and it'll cover it. So you make it where it's looked professional every time. So I'm going to wait and see what happens with this, and then go from there. I might not put any more coats on it. Too looks pretty good. Alright guys, this is my finished product after it dried. This is what we got. Full blackout on the back here. Already removed the tape and all the paper that was on it. As you can see, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it hides it so well. I did a mess up right here. You got to be very careful when you go to pull your painter's tape off of here. It has a tendency to stick to the tape on the outside, so you need to take a razor blade and trim it whenever you're going along and doing the. You need to do some trimming with it whenever you're doing the. Whenever you're pulling the tape off, take a razor blade with you and go along the edge, so that you don't do the same thing that I did, which I should have known better, but I was kind of in a hurry to get it off of here. But anyways, you want to take a razor blade and trim it, or you'll end up having a piece like this, which you can do touch up on it, and it'll cover it up pretty well. That's what I had to do. So, just be careful whenever you're doing it. And that's Plasti dip in your rear bumper.